So it really just has come into, and then that kind of parlays into the, in the trailer, I talked about this universal intelligence and the Beatles and all this amazing, great stuff. And we're going to get into that here shortly. But it was really trying to say, okay, if there is this universal intelligence and that universal intelligence is so smart, why wouldn't that universal intelligence put little specks of inspiration all over the place, right? And so those are quotes, whether it's a quote from Oprah or a quote from Aristotle or a quote from Leonardo da Vinci or a quote from Leonard Hamilton, the F1 race car driver, which I love a quote that he said. He says that my driving is an expression of my inner feelings, right? What? What is so, okay. All right. Amazing. Okay. So you're connecting with your inner feelings and you are expressing that with how you drive your F1 race car down the road or wherever you call those things with F1 racing, hundreds of miles an hour, right? To be able to be the super champion you are. Oh my God. That is unbelievable. That is incredible. Right. And then reading Steve Jobs. Steve Jobs says there's been things that he said that people have captured that said he ran Apple like the Beatles. He ran Apple like the Beatles with perfect harmony and with beautiful interactions, right? To keep the peace and to have love in everything that you do and to keep refining. Oh, and then also he said he valued the connection with your intuition and your inner knowing more than he did intelligence. Okay. So Leonard Hamilton, F1 race car driver, Steve Jobs, and Oprah has said similar things. And I'm sure I can go on and on and on, and I'm sure everybody listening has tons of examples themselves. So why isn't that something that we try? Why isn't that something that we explore? Why isn't that something that we give ourselves the opportunity to say, oh, that sounds great. Let me try that. Right. But then we do it for one day and we're like, that shit don't work. That doesn't work. It didn't work for me. I tried it for a couple days. I tried it for a couple weeks. It doesn't work. Well, do you put a seed in the ground and expect a 30-foot oak tree tomorrow? No, it takes years. It takes effort. The Beatles didn't become the Beatles overnight. And if you watch the Get Back documentary or any element of anybody writing a song, most of the time they don't have the song perfect exactly in the moment. Right. So what if we looked at everything, Riley, you said this resonated with you. What if we looked at everything in our lives as the baseline is perfection? What if the baseline was perfection, right? Everything around us, the trees growing, the birds singing, everything happening, the oceans, everything moving around. No planets are blowing up in front of us. We're here. We're in the present moment. The sun is shining today in this beautiful day, right? So why can't perfection be the baseline in every moment? We're giving ourselves the opportunity to improve upon that. And if there's ever a perfect example of it, it's documented very clearly in the, thank you, Peter Jackson, I think that's his name, for your eloquence in giving us whatever it is, 7 or 8 hours, which I really want to see all 60 hours at some point. So I'll give you my address on a later private episode.